Hey everybody, before we get into this awesome video of Andrew Garfield describing what it was like sneaking into a theater with Tobey Maguire, we have a Marvel trivia question for you. This one's a little bit tricky, I'm curious to hear your answers, but how many Green Goblins are there? Or exactly how many goblins are there? Let me know if you know that answer in the comments below, and if you get it right, we'll be sure to give you a like. Now let's get started.
And I read somewhere that you and Toby went into a theater to watch it.
Yeah,
how did you
in
possibly, what kind of disguises do you wear? That's what I want to know.
Well, if Toby and I just kind of put on a baseball cap and wear our COVID, N95 masks, we just look like a couple of white guys, and that's kind of that. We're just two other white guys who like Spider-Man, and we go and we get our popcorn and we hang. It was really that simple. Like there was no moment where we felt like we were gonna get mobbed. It was really fun. It was kind of a sweet private little hang we had, and it was it was surreal. And I had never seen the film before. Toby, I hadn't, Amy and Kevin Feige had set up a screening for us that I wasn't able to go to because I was shooting. So Toby had already seen it, but I hadn't seen it. So I was seeing it for the first time with him and with an audience. And it was just, one of those moments that you'll never kind of forget.
One thing that I also love about it is, the inclusion of Tobey Maguire, mainly because now that he's retired from acting, he pops up every once in a while, but he's kind of become more of a super producer in the last 15 years or so. So it is like shocking when you see him back up on screen. And I wondered what the first day was like with the three of you. If anyone had to be like, Toby, don't look directly at the camera. You don't do that anymore. We're acting again.
like that gag reel in the Little Rascals at the end of the Little Rascals. Like, look at the camera, darling. Yeah. No, Toby remembered not to look down the lens of the camera. It was. Yeah, you're right. He took a little bit of a kind of sabbatical from acting for a while, much to my dismay, because I'm such a huge fan of him as an actor. But yeah, he's been focusing on other things and producing and and life. And it was so awesome to be able to be present for him being on a film set as an actor again, and especially of course in that character, because I grew up idolizing Toby in that role. And he's such a huge part of that character for me, and just being a fan of him as an actor. So we had this amazing period of a couple of weeks before we started shooting where we were just kind of workshopping. We were just throwing ideas around of what the relationship could develop into, what the dynamic could be, what the feeling towards each other is, and when we first see each other versus when we part ways, like what's the journey of that. So it was just this incredibly, ordinary creative experience. Kind of it felt protected. It was very strange. It didn't feel like we were doing this big Spider-Man film. It felt like Toby and I were really just working on a relationship between two characters. And using our imaginations and playing. It felt very, very playful, like we were kind of two friends, making a little Spider-Man short film and just going, well, wouldn't this be cool? Wouldn't that be cool? And yeah, I think he really started to remember, his connection to acting as well, his love of it, and it was as if no time had passed. And the first day on set when we were shooting, it was just like a first day on set, and they gave us we did the scene on the scaffolding when I crack his back, which Toby and I came up with. Like we were like, well, we're older guys. Like, how do we express that? How do we express that connection of I was like, I want to be very needy of you. I want to make sure that like you like me and you're impressed by me, and that I'm like the younger brother to you that you never wanted, kind of thing. Like I wanted to kind of be a little monkey pulling on your tail going, well, what do you think of this and what do you think of that? And so it was just kind of playful. We had a whole day on that scaffolding just improvising and playing and trying things and finding out what the tone was and finding out who each other were. And then from then it was just incredibly fun. And John Watts is the kind of director that lets you roam free and play, and will be throwing lines and ideas and incredible funny kind of quips and moments. And yeah, he's responding to what's happening in the moment and like guiding things in a way that feels just very safe and exciting all at once. So it was just very cool.
Well, guys, once again, with Spider-Man No Way Home, I don't know about you, but all of the things that I was hoping would come true did indeed come true. It was really impactful, and to just have Andrew Garfield finally just telling the behind the scenes and what it was like keeping everyone in the dark, and the things he did with Tobey Maguire, like sneaking to a theater, it just shows how much he loves this role and how much like fun they had with this film. And guys, thank you so much for watching. The best you can do here to support us is actually like, subscribe, and turn notifications, and comment below, because we really do appreciate it here on the channel as we try to fulfill your movie hunger on the regular. The answer to that Marvel trivia question, how many goblins are there? And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I kind of lost count. There's a couple goblin variants with the Hobgoblin, the King Goblin, the Green Goblin, but there's also like multiple different people, so I'm going to just give you 20 plus goblin variants out there. I'll see what your answers are below. We'll be pretty generous with the likes. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you later.